Welcome back, everybody, our listeners, our viewers, and thank you for being with us today again. And this time, we are going to continue with our special guest we had last time. But first, let me also welcome my co host, Dr. Geralda Mandu, who's a leadership expert. And we continue with our beautiful and wonderful person who's our guest, which is Dev Sethi, founder and CEO of Wealth on Command. But today, he's going to speak about the leadership transformation journey he had been, because last time he shared with us his beautiful career transformation journey and so many golden nuggets. I'm sure you would have caught up with that. If not, go back and listen to that as well, because he shares what exactly helped him to achieve a success from being an employee to $1 million entrepreneur. Having said that, let's get started with his introduction and then over to Dr. Gerald Amando for that first question. Over to you,
Beautiful,
Doctor.
beautiful. Well, I would like to once again welcome you, Dev Sethi, the founder and CEO of Wealth Command Movement, which is a global movement where
Yes.
Dev is helping people like you and me to achieve great success, to achieve great impact, and to achieve significance so that we can take our careers, we can take our leadership to the next level. And so I am going to ask you to stay till the very end because Dev has something very special. He has a book that is coming, and I'm not going to talk about it now. I just wanted to stay till the end. And there will be a link down below this video and this podcast so that you can download it because the things you are going to get in that book is so special. All right. So, one of the key things, Dev, welcome again. And
Thank
one of
you.
the, yes, yeah. So one of the key things I like about you is you always have very nice words that bring joy to my heart and to those who listen to you. And one of the greatest things that I cannot get enough of, especially for a leader who sometimes gets scared, is your great quote that you say, if something scares you and excites you at the same time, just do it, right? So I would like you then to help us move to the gist of today's interview, where help us understand where your leadership journey began, knowing that you were in the IT world and then you transitioned to business. So, when did your formal leadership journey begin?
So I think let's take a step back a little bit about
Mm,
really looking at what a leader is. Okay. So I think the leadership journey it's not just a title. A lot of
mhm,
time we look at leadership that, hey, I've got the manager title, senior manager, head of, chief of this. That's just a title. So
Mm-hmm.
the leadership that what I've looked at is if I take an initiative to do something, and then people want to follow in and take
mhm,
that as well, I've become a leader, right?
Mm-hmm.
So same thing, it all started is even when I was in school, for example, there are certain things sometimes we want to go out for a run in the evening, right? We have
mhm.
like, I was in a boarding school, so from 4 to 6 we had games. If
Yes,
people are like, hey, let's go for a run, okay, who wants to go for a run with me? The person who goes and people follow, hey, that's a
yes,
leader, right?
yes.
Initiating a progress. Hey, let's go play soccer, who wants to go? Someone just goes and then everybody. So the term leader here is someone who actually takes the initiative
Mhm,
towards something first, and then people
Mm.
follow. So
Yeah.
same thing when we come into the job world. Even if you are, suppose you have managers in
mhm,
your role, if you take an initiative, let's say there's a problem that you see, and you're like, hey, that's a problem, I want to be proactive with that problem, let me solve it.
yes,
I've taken an initiative. I've shown my leadership skills, right? And I solve the problem. And when I solve the problem, I report back and say, hey, you know what? I saw this problem. I became proactive. I'm not done. And they're like, wow, you were proactive. That's a leadership quality. So this
Beautiful.
thing is what I've actually understood throughout,
Mm-hmm.
and this is what I've taken leadership as. And in our respective role, when I kept doing this,
Mm.
natural progression is when they see leadership qualities in you, leadership
Mm-hmm.
characters, you start growing and moving up the corporate ladder. That's what I did. And that's what I
Beautiful.
would say. Leadership is not a title. Yeah.
Yes.
It is the skill, it is the characteristic that you give,
It's the
that you show.
initiative.
If it is the initiative, if you have a friend or your colleague who's actually not really understanding, yeah, you take that leadership skill and says, hey, you know what, let's work on this together, let's help you, let's get you some results. And now when you get that person results and help, they'll be go and they'll talk to someone and says, hey, this person helped me. Automatically you have looked at someone taking initiative, you're
Mm-hmm.
supportive, you're compassionate. These are leadership qualities,
Yes.
and it exists at
Beautiful.
every different role.
Beautiful.
That's how I would say leadership is.
Wow.
Yes.
So specifically, what key strategies enabled you, Dev, to achieve great success as a leader? Because we always start as an individual contributor and then we become a leader. So what helped you becoming a good leader at a corporate career and now in a business career? What
Okay.
are the
So
strategies?
there's actually there's a 3D process that I call it, right? It's a
Okay.
3D process. The
Yeah.
first D, the first D is a dream. I call it
Mm-hmm.
dream. So when I came to Australia very in the beginning, right, in 2006, all I had was a dream that I am actually going to give back to my family,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Hmm.
I'm going to be financially stable and give back. So I expressed that dream. I had a dream. That dream gave me the direction.
Yes.
So in a leadership skill, if you have that dream, or some people call it the vision, you get a direction. When you
Hmm.
know the direction you're going and
Hmm.
people see that direction, they'll follow you,
Yes.
Yeah.
right? So the first one is the dream. The second one is, now I saw the dream, I saw the direction. The second
Mm-hmm.
one is the desire to move in that direction,
Mm-hmm.
right? And this desire will only come when you have a dream and you're like, that's the direction. Do I want to go in that direction now? That
Mm-hmm.
desire is what some people call it. It's your why. It's your
Yeah.
purpose,
Yes.
Yes.
right? So if you have the direction and you have the desire to move, right, you will stay focused.
Hmm.
Exactly.
And when you know the direction and you stay focused, people will look up to you and says, "Oh, this person knows where he or she is going, and this person is focused. They're not actually
Hmm.
moving anywhere." So
True.
people
Yes.
like someone who has a
Absolutely.
direction and stays focused.
I like that.
Now, the third thing is when you have the direction and you have the desire,
Mm.
like you have the
Hmm.
dream, you got the desire, you got to actually do it. Do it means take the action, right?
The
Move in
action.
that
Yes.
direction.
Yes.
So
Yes.
having a dream alone is not enough. You cannot just say, you cannot just have self affirmation and just say, I am great, I am awesome, I can, and you don't do anything about it. It
Yes.
doesn't work, right?
Absolutely.
So, so the 3D formula is the dream, the desire, and do.
Do.
Okay.
And when you have the dream, you have the direction. People love direction. When you have
Yes.
the desire, you stay focused. And when
Beautiful.
you have do, is you take the action. And people want to follow people that have a direction, stay focused, and take the action towards that direction. So that's
Beautiful.
how I would say.
Beautiful.
Wow.
That's a 3D process.
I
Wow, I
love that.
love that. Dream, desire, and do.
Correct.
Absolutely.
I love that.
And what are the key lessons you learned along in your leadership journey in the world of entrepreneurship? Because when you become an entrepreneur, a different type of leadership skills are required to drive yourself, your team, and the business. So, what are those key lessons for leadership?
So look, leadership is it's in an entrepreneurship, it is actually quite similar when you're in a job. If you look at the
Mm-hmm.
people who are in a
Mhm.
from a corporate ladder perspective, when
Yes.
they're
Yes.
when they're a CEO, they're
Mm-hmm.
sort of like the entrepreneur of the corporate. So that's what we
Yes.
call
So
an
true.
entrepreneur, right?
Yes.
So
Yes.
they're leading it. So the
Yes.
in the entrepreneur world, the leadership here is really the number one is really knowing the direction you're going is what we call the vision. So if
Yes.
you're
Hmm.
building your company and you don't know what you want, people
Hmm.
will be very confused. So you can
Yes.
test this
True.
out when you ask people, what do you want? People sometimes people get stuck. So the way to, if you're stuck and you want to have this great leadership skill of knowing where to go,
Mm-hmm.
you just answer what you don't want. And that's a very
Mm.
normal tendency. People, when you ask someone what you want, they will tell you what you don't want. So you answer all what you don't want, and you
Mm-hmm.
just do the opposite of what you don't want. You'll know exactly what you get
Yes.
it? And that will
Exactly.
be the first thing on how to actually get that direction.
Mm.
So that would be from an entrepreneurship world,
Mm-hmm.
is really, really absolutely knowing the direction you're moving. That's your vision. You need to
Mm.
know
Beautiful.
that, what you
Beautiful.
want. And when you know that, you find the right people to actually move in that direction. Yes, at first, it'll be you. You're into everything, and that's okay,
Mm.
right? You're
Mm-hmm.
into the details, you're doing this, you're trying to figure out in the beginning, it's okay. But as you grow, you got to now start filling people in different roles.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah.
And if you
Exactly.
can do this and stay in that direction, you're okay from a leadership perspective.
Wow. Wow.
Okay.
The
Beautiful.
leadership journey is of success and so many achievements. But I want to ask you, is on behalf of our viewers, is that what are some of the costliest mistakes did you make in your earlier leadership journey, which you want our audience to avoid at any cost?
Oh, that's a brilliant question. Look, there's a lot of times that, when I so in a leadership, this is there's a myth here, okay? This is
Mm-hmm.
a I
Mm.
love this question because there's a myth here is the leader must know everything.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah. Yeah.
The leader doesn't need to know everything. The leader needs to know enough that
Mhm.
says, is does it if I ask you a question and you're bluffing me, I need to
Mm.
know, are you bluffing? I need to be able to sense that, right?
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
need to know all the details, right?
Yeah.
That's what a leader needs to sort of make, like, understand that. But
Mm-hmm.
the biggest mistake here is when you as a leader think that when oh I what I made is, hey, I know it all, I'm the leader, it's I know it all, I'm going to do everything. Or
Yeah.
sometimes you're heading in the wrong direction,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
purpose of the leader here is to give the direction and
Mm-hmm.
find the person who can complement me on certain skills I don't have to
Yes.
take me in that direction. So a
Yeah.
lot of mistakes I did is I tried to do a lot of things myself
Mm-hmm.
that I did
Mm-hmm.
not know how to do.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
and with an entrepreneurial journey here is in the beginning, you may
Mm.
make a lot of those mistakes
Yeah. Yeah.
because you're stuck with cash flow, maybe you're stuck with you can't find the right people, so you may get your hands dirty and do it yourself, which
Yes.
you know is not right, which
Mm-hmm.
you know
Mm.
it's expensive. But the
Yeah.
sooner you can find someone to take that from you and do it,
The bit.
the faster
The
you will
better.
come out of that
Yes.
mistake.
Mm.
Okay.
So
Okay.
the analogy I'd like to give, let's say you're at 100 and you
Mm-hmm.
make
Mm.
a mistake, 50% mistake, you drop down to 50.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
To go back to 100, it is not a 50% increase, it is a 100%
100%.
increase.
Yes. Yes.
So
Can you see
true.
that?
Yeah.
So the sooner you can prevent those mistakes from happening, the
Mm.
better you will actually do in business. It is all about avoiding mistakes. But initially, you will make mistakes because you will not know it's a mistake if you don't make those mistakes. And that's what people say experience, right? So it's a bit
Experience.
of a
Yes.
catch-22 here, if you know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
Absolutely.
that's what it is.
Oh, that's really really nice. And talking about mistakes, this is something very very passionate to me, and in my own career, business career, and in my own professional career, I made mistakes too. And one of the things that helped me to avoid mistakes is the role of a mentor. And going to you back, what did mentorship mean to you in ensuring that your leadership was successful?
Mentorship is critical. It is a vital piece because a mentorship is not just about saying do this or do that. A
Mhm.
mentorship, the biggest benefit of mentorship is the avoidance of mistake.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because remember, a mentor is someone who's been there, done that, what you want. So
Exactly.
if you're at 100 and you make a mistake and you come down to 50, you got to
Mhm.
be double. When you have a mentorship, the mentorship can already sense, hey, don't do this, you will lose time.
Yes.
So Having a mentor is someone who, and I say mentor, right, is someone
Mhm.
who's been there, done that. This person can tell you, don't do this, don't do this. So it
Yes.
helps you avoid mistakes. Business success is more about doing less mistakes so you keep growing.
Yeah.
Yes.
A mentor helps you with that. So, in other words, if you do less mistakes, you move
Hmm.
faster.
Yes.
So,
Yes.
if you want to get to a place faster,
Hmm.
Mhm.
the speed, a mentor will get you there.
Absolutely. So you mentioned about mistakes, and I like the issue of mistakes. And what I like most is that success in business means fewer mistakes for us to make. And you've clearly mentioned that having the right mentor, a person who has been there, done that, is the ideal person for you to be able to emulate. And I like what you've done that. So in your leadership career, both in the corporate world and in the business world, what were some of the key elements that you considered in a mentor that our listeners can look at as the key points when they are looking for mentors?
Hmm. So a mentor, that I go by three rules, right? A mentor
Hmm.
is someone who's been there, done that. So that means they
Hmm.
have the results you want. That's number one.
Yes.
Yeah. Number two is they have the capability to train you, to mentor you. Not everyone who's got the results know how to mentor someone. So find someone who's actually got the results.
Hmm.
Number two, has the capability. How do you find if someone has the capability? Look at other people they've mentored. If other
Hmm.
people have got the results, that means they've got
Hmm.
the capability to actually mentor as well, right? And number three, which I call it, is being related in a way that you find a mentor
Hmm.
We can relate with. Yeah.
who you can
Exactly.
relate to. So these
Okay.
are the three things, right? Because there's if you cannot relate to a mentor, right, relate in the sense the way they speak, their journey, their story,
Hmm.
the results they
Hmm.
give you, what will happen here is, if the mentor tells you don't do this, don't do that, you will forever be challenging and doubting, should I really listen to this mentor, should I and then you will not take the action. But when you
Hmm.
relate, you will say, okay, great. He's been there, done that. She's been there, done that. I'm just going to follow what they say.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hmm.
And that's exactly what will get you the results.
Yeah.
Most of the time, it's not the mentor's fault. It's most of the time is the person is not taking the action what the mentor is telling you to take.
Yes.
So true. Yes.
So true.
I've also
So
made
true.
those mistakes, right?
And
So
and I
those are the
like the
three
fact
things.
how beautiful. I like that. So and for me, it sounds that your emphasis on the last point is important, saying that you should get a mentor who you resonate with, so that you don't mentally challenge the advice they give you.
Absolutely. If you don't find a mentor that you resonate with,
Mhm.
when I say resonate with, there's many aspects, right? Some mentors speak very fast, some mentors speak very slow. Depends on the speech as well. Are they too fast for you? Are they too slow for you? Some mentors love answering questions. Some mentors don't love answering questions. Some mentors can break it down. Some mentors don't break it down. Some
Yeah.
mentors train in a different way. All these things is, hey, is this the style of mentoring
Yes.
do I
Hmm.
resonate with? That's really
Beautiful.
the key.
I
Yeah.
like that. I
Yeah.
like that. I like that. That's so good. And I, looking at my own journey, and I'm sure Coach Shilpa would relate, when you get a misfit between your mentor and yourself, things really don't go well, and you challenge what they, you don't believe in them, and so you don't get the results they have because there's a misfit. So it's really important, as you listen to us, to be careful the kind of person you want, somebody who has been there, somebody you trust, somebody you love, and somebody who resonates with the way you do stuff. All right. Now, one of the things I would like us to go into, Dev Sethi, is I know you're on a global mission. I would like you to speak a little bit to our audience about what your mission is about. And as a mentor and a coach in your own right, um, how are you creating this impact as part of your mission?
Okay, great. And look, it really starts with a story. When I came to Australia
Mhm.
about 15 years ago, I came with a dream to give back to my family,
Mhm.
right? And my parents have sacrificed a lot. and I got really comfortable in my job. And then all one fine day, my dad wasn't well. He was with me in Australia. He flew back to Thailand,
Mm-hmm.
and he entered ICU. His heart rate went from 80 to 190. And now in
Wow.
that moment, I was like, I was so comfortable in doing things that I forgot to give back to my family.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
And in that
yeah.
moment, I was like, I just hope I get a second chance
Mm-hmm.
to give back. And in this moment, when I asked for the second chance, I got it. My dad is healthy. He's alive. And that's when I made this mission to myself that I
Mm-hmm.
want to actually transition out of my job
Mm-hmm.
and give back to my family, right? So that I can actually spend more time with them, have control on my life, right? And in the business, I can do whatever I want and make as much money and really help them. It
Mm-hmm.
started with that. But when I
Hmm.
did that transition, there was a lot of people I found that even they want to give back to their family,
Mm-hmm.
right? Even they want to give back to the people they love, but they don't know how to do it.
Hmm.
Then I was like, you know what? I've been there, I've done it. Let me show you how you can use the vehicle of business, where
Mm-hmm.
you can learn how to build your own impactful business,
Okay.
use your knowledge, create a business, be financially independent,
Okay.
give back to your family, and then your community as well. So
Hmm.
this is how it sort of gave birth to the mission.
Yes.
And at first it started just with me, but now I was like, there's a lot of people like me, but they don't have the support.
Okay.
Yes.
So now my mission is I want to help people build a profitable, impactful business so
Okay.
that they can be financially independent, give back to their family and
Mhm.
community.
Yes.
And I've got this goal of impacting at least 10 million people.
Oh, I love that.
Why 10
Wow.
million? Why
10
10
million.
million
Why
people?
10 million? Yes. Tell us. Yes.
Why 10 million? It's just a figure that I don't know how I'm going to get there. So it feels like it's a big figure for me to sort of aim high, right? 1 million feels I can do it. But they're
Yes.
like, if you have a goal that you know how to get it, it's not a very big goal. So I just
Yeah.
want to get 10 million people,
It's
you know?
like your quote, right? It's something that scares you and excites you at the same time. Then let's do it.
That's exactly
Absolutely.
10 million scares me a little bit. How do I get 10 million? Now
Yeah.
that I've announced it in the world, I got
Yeah.
to make it happen. How
Yes.
I'm going to do
Absolutely.
it, I don't know yet, but I'm going to make it happen. And that
Yeah.
keeps me going every single day.
I like
Yes.
that. So, on a life's journey of affecting positively, impacting positively 10 million people. And I would like us to take this opportunity to kind of ease it out with some quick, rapid fire questions. Are you ready?
I'm ready. I'm ready.
Good. If you are, we are ready. All right. Now, from a personal perspective, what is your most common leadership style?
So I feel that I'm very approachable. In
Mm-hmm.
fact, that if there's a question you have, let's talk it out. Right. So I
Mm-hmm.
feel that I like a bit more of an approachable style where someone
Okay.
can actually feel that they can approach me and have a discussion in terms of what they're thinking. So that's what I would say, approachable style.
Beautiful. I love that. So, sort of consultative leadership style, right?
Correct. Yeah.
Beautiful. So, what do you absolutely hate about leading others?
What do I absolutely? No one's actually asked me that question. Now you put me
Yes.
on the spot. See, the thing about there's a lot of things that which is out of my comfort zone as well, right?
Yes.
So if someone when so I'm like a go person. If I'm
Mm-hmm.
leading someone and they're taking their own sweet time, that
Mm-hmm.
takes a lot of energy out of me. So
Yeah.
I don't actually quite enjoy that. But what I've also found that when you're leading a team,
Mm-hmm.
you bring people that complement you because sometimes you need to go slow to move fast.
Okay.
But
Hmm.
I have found that it takes a lot of my energy to when people are very slow in their decision,
Mm-hmm.
very slow to move ahead, right? So that takes a lot of energy away. But the way I've done it now is I just pair up and says, look, this is the speed we want, this is the deadline. Let's
Mm-hmm.
move. You can take your time in deciding, but let's hit this goal. So that's how I sort of
Okay.
get over that.
Beautiful, beautiful. What about your aspiration, your main aspiration as a mentor today?
So I've got this goal, right, which I said I want to positively impact over 10 million people.
Mm-hmm.
So I've
Mm-hmm.
got this whole brand that I've created, which is called Wealth on Command.
Yes.
Okay. The wealth is beyond money. Like I said, it's yes, money is important, but really helping people live the life they want so they can
Mhm.
actually have the choices they want, right?
Mm.
Now, one aspect of this is, like I said, the first key is have that income
Yes.
stability,
Mhm.
grow your influence by your business, and then make
Mhm.
an impact.
Mhm.
My dream impact that I really want to do is, so I've created this community called Wealth on Command, and as part
Okay.
of this community, I call the people in there called Wealth Commanders,
Mhm.
right? They can command their own wealth. My dream is I want to be able to create, when I close my eyes, I see this. I want
Mhm.
to create a physical community, like a real physical community, where
Yes.
it's like if you drive, imagine this, you're driving along the highway and you
Yes.
see this estate where it says Wealth
Oh,
Commander City,
goodness.
and you drive inside,
Yes.
and there's a home of 100 homes
Yes.
where each family, they wake up every single day, they are all wealth commanders, right?
Yes.
They wake up with abundance. They're
Yes.
helping each other make an impact in this world. So
Yes.
that's my dream goal, that if I'm able to create this uh, physical community,
Mhm.
that would be my legacy, and that
I
would be
love
my
Wow.
that. I
impact
love
that I
that.
keep in this world,
We
where
love that.
people wake up every single day, all neighbors are supporting one another,
Yes.
and they're like, wow, look at my wealth commander neighbor, look at my wealth commander neighbor. Everyone has the income, the influence, the impact, and
Yes.
they're happy for each other's success.
Absolutely.
That's the community I want to build, a
I
community of
love
wealth
that.
command.
A community of wealth commanders, and
Yeah, that's a
starting with
beautiful
you.
concept. It's, yeah.
Okay, that's beautiful. And now that you are a seasoned leader, but you didn't begin where you are today. So I want us to look back to your younger self. What is that one thing you tell your younger self about leadership success?
So the key part of leadership is having that courage to listen to your heart.
Mm,
A lot of times we know what we want. We know deep inside, if I'm alone and I ask you, we know what we want, but
mhm,
we don't want to say it out because
Mm.
we are afraid that someone might tell us that, hey, it's a crazy thing, it's
mhm,
not big enough, it's too small. I used to feel that. So I would tell my younger self that
mhm,
whatever I want, just listen to my heart and just give it a go. And if I give it a go, I will actually then know, is it too small? Is it too big? Is it too
mhm,
easy? Is it too hard? And I can pivot as I go. So my message to my younger self would be,
mhm.
what you want to do, listen to your heart and just go for it.
Go for it, right? So courage. So the key word there is courage, and
Courage,
stick to
exactly
that.
right.
Beautiful. And my last
Yeah.
question on this rapid fire is, what is this crazy thing you did or you've done to motivate your team members?
So the crazy thing that to motivate my team, there's actually a lot of I'd probably say maybe some people find it really crazy, but I think the thing that people get motivated the most, it's not so much of like, let's go watch a movie or let's go this.
Mhm,
I think I think it's deeper than just crazy. It's more about being genuinely interested in your success. So if you are part of my team and I say, what is success to you?
mhm,
If I can help you get your success,
mhm,
you know you will be absolutely motivated, because now you know that someone else like me is
Mm.
there to help you get your success. I'd probably say this is the deepest thing that I've done to
mhm.
motivate my team.
Yeah,
And if we can be genuinely interested in people's success, you
Mm.
will find that they will also be interested in your success, and
Yes.
that's when you and I, we succeed together. And I think that's the deepest form of motivation,
I like that.
genuinely caring for other people's success and making sure they actually get it as well.
So you make them
Wonderful.
successful, and then they in turn
Be
make you
successful.
successful.
Yes.
Beautiful.
Correct.
Beautiful, beautiful. So wonderful questions in the rapid fire. I still have one or two other questions which is coming to my mind now after speaking to you, Dev. Is that I would love to hear, and I'm sure our audience and Dr. Gerard would love to hear
Mhm.
what was your most challenging experience as a leader, and how did you handle it?
Look, I'll give you a story back in my job days, right?
Mm,
Mm-hmm.
I think the I think the most challenging is when I got this new role. in my latest job that I left. The
Mm.
key is when I went in, it was a lot of challenge in terms of everything was a mess, right?
Oh,
And what I figured out is I started saying, let's change this, let's change that, let's do all these changes, right?
Mm.
Because now I've come in, I'm like,
yes.
I'm the leader. Let's just go, go, go.
I have to
But
show. Yes.
I got a lot of resistance,
Mm.
Mm,
and I think the lesson learned here is before we can actually say what we need to change, let's first understand
What's
like
happening?
what really is the problem, how big it is, who is
mm,
there around us that understands the problem better, who is there around us that will go along with the journey. And there will
right.
be some people that will go along, some people that will not go along. And then
Mm,
you leverage the people around you to
mm,
really make that change. And
okay.
but the deepest lesson here which I found is it's really telling the people who want to go with you is why we need to make that change,
Mm-hmm.
you know.
Yes.
So what I was doing is when I went in, I just figured it out. I'm like, we need to change because of this, but it was in my head,
Mm-hmm.
you know.
Mm,
I didn't
mm-hmm.
communicate it out, so I kept going. I got a lot of resistance, and then but when I started sharing why we need to change, I
Mm-hmm.
found the right people around me that I could leverage in the same direction.
Yes.
Wow.
So
Beautiful.
yeah. So
Beautiful.
the biggest challenge is not sharing why we need to make that change and just do it. That would be the biggest resistance. When I shared it,
Yes.
I was able to do my job really well, and really grow the business as well. And same thing now, I'm doing that in my business as well. Just
Mm-hmm.
sharing with my team why we're doing what we're doing.
Wow, that's so
Right, that's
beautiful
correct. Yeah.
because why is the greatest driver of all the time? Because it tells us why even we should bother taking this action. And it is leaders' role to show them not only the direction, but also the fuel behind that direction. So that is the key lesson here. And we spoke about it's been a great conversation. We spoke about how you started, how you moved in your career, how you moved top in your ladder, corporate ladder, and then what inspired you to transition to become an entrepreneur, how you supported your family, how now you are supporting a global leadership and the communities. I want to ask you this question, Dev, is that is there any question you would have loved to answer, but we failed to ask you?
Oh, that's a catch-all question, right?
Yes.
Uh, Look, I think the question here needs to be we've spoken a lot about success, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
I think the question also needs to be about what is some of the failures that we can learn from, you
Mm.
know.
Yes.
So I think that those are some questions that we should look at. Failure is a
Yeah. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
very big metric of how we succeed,
Mm-hmm.
and
Yeah.
we would not be here if we didn't have some of those failures.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it would be good to actually sort of discuss that.
Okay. And how would you answer if we would have asked you what are the some failures you learned from the most?
Great. I sort of knew that question was coming.
Yes.
Yeah, I could just sense that.
Yes.
But look,
Yes.
I think the some one of the when I look at these failures, right? It's some say that forgive and forget, right? You've heard
Hmm.
this phrase, right? When you
Mm-hmm.
do something, oh, let's forgive it, forget it. I just say forgive, but don't forget.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
when you make a mistake and I've made so many mistakes, right? Where uh, you can forgive the thing that happened, but the lesson that you have learned from that mistake,
Mm-hmm.
don't forget it.
Okay.
Because
Hmm.
if you forget it, you'll repeat the mistake again, right?
Exactly.
So you
Yes.
don't want to forget that experience. You want to use that experience so that in the future you don't make the same mistake. Number one. Number
True.
two is when people say, I've got a lot of experience is I made a lot of mistakes and I know now
Yes.
what not mistakes to do, right?
That's correct.
So,
Yeah.
so I would probably say forgive, but
Hmm.
not forget,
Yeah.
because
Yes.
that forget is really that experience that you've had. You got to remember it so you don't repeat those mistakes and you can leverage upon those learnings to
Mm-hmm.
grow further.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
how I would take failure as. That would be
Wow.
my.
Wow.
Absolutely.
Thank you. Thank you so much for sharing that because everybody is going to have failures. Everybody will make mistakes on their way. And
Mm-hmm.
actually, those mistakes are perfecting us for the coming journey and they're there for a reason. But we can use that as a stepping stone and take the learnings and move forward. That's Such a beautiful question. You only gave us an answer for us. Thank you so much for doing
Beautiful.
that.
Yeah, yeah.
Dr.
You're welcome.
Gerard, would you like to summarize Dev's leadership lessons he told us, and then we can sum up?
Yeah, absolutely. We've learned many things. Dev has shared, he's really shared his secrets, he shared his heart, he has talked about the 3Ds, he's talked about so many. And the key thing that really I got, the one thing, if there's one message I got as somebody who is learning the ropes of leadership, is to be courageous. It's really to make sure you believe in yourself, go out and do it and create an impact. And you offer something that the other people are afraid of. The example of just taking direction and saying, hey, let's go to play soccer, and somebody has a problem, you solve their problem. And importantly, the other thing that I just want to highlight a bit is the way you motivate the people.
Yeah.
Let them understand the why. Why are you doing this
Mhm.
for them? So that
Yes.
instead of you dragging them, they move alongside with you. And so this is where leadership is, right? Leadership is making sure people move in the vision you create for them. So, with that, I would like to invite you to get something special, a special gift that Dave has prepared for you. Now, one of the key things leaders should be doing is being persuasive, right? Because if you need to explain the why for somebody, then you need to be persuasive. And we couldn't be more grateful to Dave for sharing these 7 secrets. So, down below this episode, make sure you go ahead and download this so you can celebrate the new achievement of how to persuade your team so that your team can be very successful. We also invite you to subscribe to this episode if you're coming here for the first time, and download this, share with your friends and family, join our private community, and reach out to us if you need consulting, if you need mentoring, if you want guest speaking, and particularly if you'd like to invite Dev, write to lead talk podcast at gmail.com and indicate that we would like to invite Dev so that we can make arrangements for you and get him over. And one of the secret things that I would like to spill here is Dev is soon releasing a book. And also down below, we're going to leave a link for you to be able to pre-order the book and really make use of it. So over to you, Shilpa. Would you like to say
Yeah, thank
something?
you.
Yes, yes,
Yes, firstly, I would like to thank Dave from bottom of my heart on
yes,
behalf of you also, Dr. Gerard,
yes.
not only for taking out the special time, but also sharing his innermost, thoughts, the mistakes, also the learnings, and connecting with us like being a family member.
Absolutely.
Because we share best with our family from intention that they would avoid the mistakes what we have done, and they accelerate their journey. And you are a great mentor, Dev, and I'm sure we all would be there with you again when you release your book and invite you back here, because then you would have so much more to share with us. So by then I'll tell everybody to enjoy and take down your notes, digital notes, because there is so much Dev has shared with us from decades of experience, right?
Yes.
So we'll see you again in our next episode. We'll keep bringing the value to you because we believe in only delivering what
The
works
best. Yes.
and no flop advice. So we will continue doing that. By then, stop following, start leading. So join the lead talk every single time.
Absolutely. See you next time. Bye for now.
Bye.
Thank you. Yeah.